The challenge in most educational systems, America included, has not been in finding innovations, launching yet another new idea, nor in creating pockets of excellence. It's been in sustaining success across the board for virtually every child. Alternatively, we've tried a lot of things to bring this about. We've mandated excellence, we've cajoled people and named our leaders education presidents, we've renamed our old initiatives sexy things, like professional learning communities. We've even helped people to buy into our vision by facilitating their understanding of what we already know. Now we even have a huge carrot to get people to race to the top. But in America, we've never had a problem getting a couple of winners and a lot of losers. In fact, the PISA exams tell the story clearly. While countries like Korea, Singapore, Japan, Taiwan, and Finland continue to rank among the top in the world, America ranks 17th. That's because in these countries, and even economically poor cities like Shanghai, China, economics don't predetermine which children will succeed. Virtually all of their students do well. So while some American schools and students can compete with all of these countries, US students as a whole lose on every international test. Again, our problem isn't in creating islands of excellence, it's in creating oceans of success for all of our students. The good news is the answer is at hand. Within every school and district in America, there is indeed excellence. Every school has a teacher who's succeeding with the same students that others are failing. And in every school, there is someone who's connecting to the same students others are sending to the principal's office. In other words, the answer is already in the room, so to speak. And now, there's a proven methodology for identifying and scaling those excellent practices. This method has proven effective for Vietnam to sub-Saharan Africa, to schools and entire districts in the US, the UK, Canada, and South Africa. Named positive deviance in the social sciences, the concept was used to eradicate decades-long child malnutrition in Vietnam. Within 6 months, Jerry and Monique Sternin and their group from Save the Children cut it by 40% in select communities. And within 2 years, they eradicated it in those same communities. Likewise, Dr. Hopkins and his team from the Carter Center in Atlanta virtually eradicated the New Guinea worm in sub-Saharan Africa, the largest parasite known to humankind that wreaked havoc on millions of people for centuries within 20 countries. It was virtually wiped out using positive deviance, finding outliers who were doing better than all others in the same situation, and using a particular methodology to spread or scale their good practices to everyone else in the region. While this was going on in Vietnam and Africa, another movement was gathering steam in the US. W. Edwards Deming, the quality guru whose ideas revolutionized Japanese manufacturing, was joined by Peter Senge and numerous leaders from business, government, and education in a series of Shaping America's Future forums, hosted by the Hope Foundation. This led directly to the publishing of seminal works on learning communities and the rise of that movement. In the year 2000, the idea of not only launching, but scaling and sustaining positive deviance across an entire district began in Alton, Illinois. It focused on developing the district's leaders and their leadership teams. They learned how to move away from labeling people as good or bad, and instead identify and leverage the behaviors of positive deviance. By making this key shift away from a focus on people and toward what the most successful people are doing, everyone learned how to work collectively in conducting treasure hunts versus witch hunts in their schools. Once these learning communities collectively defined successful practice, they were more interested in finding that practice. And once they took ownership in both defining and finding it, they were committed to making positive deviance the norm instead of the exception. So today, we're here to talk about a method that's been proven in multiple countries and across disciplines to close gaps in practice. A method that leverages what is already working in a particular environment, or school, so it's affordable and scalable. And since this approach inherently engages the entire learning community using it, it's not reliant on a few charismatic leaders for sustained success. The game we've played for so long, creating a few winners and a lot of losers, doesn't have to be played any longer in our schools. Everyone can win. Failure should not be an option. Today, we're here to discuss how to make that possible. And the answer is in this room.